Hey ladies, so I'm switching up some of the content that I post on this channel and adding something a little more. So I haven't been impressed with a lot of the advice online I see being given to Black women, especially younger Black women. Unfortunately, majority of the content creators that we see on places like TikTok actually do not like Black women and are just using them for views or just trying to give them terrible advice in general and end up doing more harm than good. The advice and topics are very superficial and male-centered, and it's content that I honestly consider to be grooming. A lot of things that get spoken about are really not a priority in our everyday lives. We are one of the poorest and most vulnerable demographics in the world, and living in a first world that could be teetering on a financial collapse in the coming years or decades. We are also the demographic getting evicted the most, and I believe the fastest growing population of homeless. There's a lot happening in the world, and it pays to be mindful of what we're doing, and it also pays to be putting more emphasis on our wealth as Black women. Not as a part of the Black community or any community, because we really are sovereign. A lot of people like to take advantage of women's poverty and the desperation that comes from poverty, and people who benefit from women that have less will not help said women get out of that position. At this point, financial issues is why so many Black women who should be building up their careers are listening to women tell them that rich men hate their afros and they need to shamed and cover it with a straight wig if they ever want to get an all expenses paid trip out of the ghetto. Or they spend paying women online to teach them where to find sugar daddies instead of investing the $1,000 to invest in themselves seriously and putting it towards learning a real skill that can generate income. Financial struggle is the only thing that would lead to a Black woman taking these train of thoughts serious. It's important that we're normalizing these conversations among younger Black women and girls still in high school and middle school. How we move financially has a huge impact on our lives in future for our socioeconomic standing and has a bigger impact on our overall decision making. I do have my finance guide linked in the description if anyone wants to save and download it. I tried to be as specific as I could in those finance-centered videos, but I think I can be more helpful giving direct advice. I had some subscribers send in their financial and career goals and plans, and today I'm going to give some advice on that. I'll make any helpful corrections if needed, and suggest some goals that could set her up for a stronger future. I think posting these on this channel is helpful so that others in similar situations can apply what I'm saying to their own lives. So she says, my end goal is to become an airline pilot AMP. I'm currently training for my private pilot as of now through a scholarship grant. I want a degree in aviation and plan on attending a well-known aviation university despite the expense because of the connections and prestige. I plan on becoming a phlebotomist during the summer to gain money in preparation for the future. I plan to pay for college through FAFSA and scholarships offered by my state, local community, and through my school. I'm taking dual enrollment to earn credits for college right now. I don't have to worry about my acceptance into the school because I dually enrolled within it as a high school student, so my acceptance is basically guaranteed. She also added, I plan to live below my means in college up until I get a big girl job basically. I'd like to buy some land to build a house on it. Maybe get married, but I want kids in my early 30s ideally. My 20s are going to be spent chasing material gains. What I truly want to do is maximize the amount of money I make each year. That's why I chose pilot as a career because the pay only increases over time. There's no ceiling like other professions. It starts high and ends even higher. So she generally already has a great career plan, and it's good that she's already taking steps in high school to set up herself as an adult. The phlebotomy program doesn't take more than a year to complete. The program is only a month long and pays more than minimum wage, which is good. Right now, the average adult in America needs to be making $25 to $30 an hour to live comfortably on their own. If you're living with parents or becoming roommates with trustworthy friends, that would be ideal since school is a lot to deal with if you add in financial stress. Pilots get paid very well, and there are great connections that can be made in aviation school for networking, and there's actually a pilot shortage right now. The average pilot in America makes a little less than $200,000 annually, and with the rising inflation by the time you actually graduate, this is still enough to live comfortably, pay off any school debt, and even retire a little earlier than most people. The biggest barrier to entry for flight school is the extremely high price of the education, so the biggest thing to be added here is a plan B. Anything could go wrong, and you just end up down a different path. You want to be prepared for that. Usually our life doesn't go exactly the way we planned it from the age of 18. A lot of people change their mind about what they want to do while in college because society makes people plan their future at a young age, but our frontal lobes aren't even fully developed until we're 25. Some people change careers or life goals, so a plan B for a different career path that's just as successful is important to make. Always have options open, so I would personally look into another career that you're just as interested in with a similar pay range and status as pilots. If you still want to be a pilot but hit too many financial roadblocks, you can actually get paid to learn from joining the Air Force and becoming a private pilot after your service. Any college you go to after that is paid for, but the commitment to the Air Force is 10 years. A lot of people have higher incomes but still end up broke and living paycheck to paycheck because of lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is when your spending starts to increase as your income goes up, often without even realizing it. Basically, as you make more money, you start buying more expensive stuff or adding things to your life that weren't necessary before. For example, if you get a raise, instead of saving the extra cash, you might start eating out more, upgrading your phone, or moving to a luxury apartment. It can feel like you're just treating yourself, but over time, it can eat away at your savings and leave you with less financial security. The key is to recognize it and make sure you're balancing enjoying your new income while still sticking to your financial goals. A good tip is to keep your lifestyle stable as your income rises and put that extra money into savings or investments for your future. You can pay off aviation school debt easier by sticking to the 50-20-30 rule. 50% for needs, so half of your income should go toward essential expenses, things you can't live without. This includes rent, groceries, utilities, transportation, and any other basic living costs. This is going to increase with inflation. That's why it's important to be making money while you're still in school. 30% for wants. So about a third of your income can be spent on non-essential things and just splurging on yourself. This covers dining out, entertainment, hobbies, etc. 20% for savings or debt repayment. The final portion should go into building your future. Use this for savings, investments, or paying off any debts you have. This is key to long-term financial security and planning for big goals. The big goals you have are paying off school debt and saving up to buy land, and preferably you want to pay cash for whatever land you purchase. You want to maximize the money you make each year, and you do that by keeping debt low or non-existent while putting your saving in a high APR savings account. An APR savings account pays you interest based on an annual percentage rate APR, which helps your money grow over time. The higher the APR percentage, the more you earn on your savings. If you keep your money sitting in your checking account, it'll lose value because inflation decreases the worth of cash. If you don't put your money in savings, then you want it to be invested in land and certain stocks. That's where it will hold and increase in value. In school and at work, some advice that people give to the male gender that really should be given to everyone is don't poop where you eat. Don't let your professional life get muddied up with personal mess. Look up some soft skills to learn to help you network better once you get into college. It's better not to mix personal relationships with situations where you need to keep things professional or comfortable. When it comes to networking, focus on building genuine connections. Share enough about yourself to be relatable and approachable, but avoid oversharing personal or sensitive things that's only your business. Networking in college is not just about the short term, it's about meeting people who eventually become professional connections in the future. Some of the people you meet in college can become lifelong friends, and it's important to nurture those relationships. After you get situated in your career, you don't want to make the mistake many women make, which is burning down what they built for a male. I don't recommend any Black women have children because majority of Black women are better off child-free. If you really want to have kids after the age of 30 when you're married for multiple years to a male that you trust, that's really the best way to do it if you really want to. And you're not just doing it because society told you to. A lot of people try to pressure young Black women into relationships and centering males in their lives, and it's very detrimental. Even in spaces like divestment, they'll insist it's fine because your relationship should turn out well because of low divorce stats. But the long-lasting marriages Black women have with non-Black males are actually women on average who got married past the age of 30, and anyone trying to rush Black women just have bad intentions. Don't entertain a male that makes less than you or is striving for lower, and a marriage should come with a prenup so you don't lose what you came in with. You have success on your own. Just remember, your financial independence and smart choices set the foundation for our future. Stay focused on your goals. Don't let anyone rush you into something that doesn't align with what you want. And keep leveling up on your terms. Don't forget to check out the finance guide in the description if you need more tips. And I'll probably be posting each video once a week or two, depending on how busy I am. If any of you are in high school and planning out your career future, or just a Black woman needing a career change, you can email me using the email in the description. You can send the email explaining your goal and what you're currently doing to work on it. Your college major if you plan on going to college, or alternatives such as trade school, certifications, etc. Try not to send anything too personal like names, areas, or school names, and if you do, don't worry, I will edit it out like I did for this one. Like I said earlier, it's really important that our focus is on making genuinely impactful changes in our lives and giving too much attention to low vibrational topics and obsessing over things like who finds you attractive or not is just not a priority in real life. When you find yourself in a better socioeconomic standing as a Black woman, watch how your concerns and decision-making completely changes.